These are some Dinar Guru updates, starting off with Sandy Ingram. Currency mayhem, IQD from USD to CNY. Article quote, Iraq short on dollars moves to purchases with Chinese yen. To compensate for a foreign currency shortage, Iraq's central bank said the country would soon trade with China directly in yen. This happened because the Iraqi parliament approved a currency revaluation in response to a shortage of US dollars. The Federal Reserve Bank pulled back on US currency in Iraq because it was proven that US dollars were flowing freely into Iran and Syria. This is the first time imports from China will be paid for in yen. Before now, all imports were paid for in US dollars. Central Bank of Iraq said this move could boost the balances in Iraq banks that have accounts with Chinese banks. It would also boost local bank balances through the central bank's US dollar reserve accounts with JP Morgan. It would look something like this. The Iraq bank would convert US dollars to yen and pay invoices to China. Frank article quote, Association of Iraqi Banks dealing in the Chinese yen people may provide the possibility of reducing import costs. Quote, the central bank will consider after controlling the exchange rate of the dollar in the balance market by linking the price of the dinar to the dollar immediately and not at fixed prices, unquote. Frank said this is explaining and talking about the international float of the IQD that is about to start. All right, Pimpy says, does the future look bright for Iraq? Pimpy was answering the question, does the future look bright for Iraq? Pimpy says yes, as long as they start getting their shit together and their government starts doing the right things necessary, like providing funding for infrastructure, helping with education, that helps contribute to the currency exchange rate. Deepwood's question, article says the budget will reach the House this week. Does that mean the COM agreed on everything to send it to the GOI? Deepwood says, yes, I think so. The COM is Sudanese selected government whom Parliament gave a vote of confidence for. Between them and the PM, they are carrying out what they've been calling the government program. It's supposed to be why they achieved the approval of Parliament in their beginning. I believe that this budget, like everything else, it seems Sudani came on scene, will pass scrutiny rather quickly, as it should be reflective of all the promises they made in order to gain power now. Frank 26 Firefly, they're telling us on TV that the dinar is recovering and once again it will be strong. This is their words to us, that it will be strong and stable, and they are saying our gas will burn off from our oil, will be our energy source, and GE is talking about big deal that they just signed here. Frank says the monetary reform cannot exist without electricity. You can't get information to the citizens, you can't do the transfers, you can't do anything. Claire article quote, Association of Iraqi Banks dealing in the Chinese yen may provide the possibility of reducing import costs, unquote. Another quote, the central bank will consider after controlling the exchange rate of the dollar in the balance market by linking the price of the dinar to the dollar immediately, not at fixed prices, unquote. All right, walking stick in Frank 26. A reinstatement of a currency of a country has never started at a 3 plus with its exchange rate. Never. What about Kuwait? They reinstated. They put back the rate that they took down. They went back to $3.22. That is a reinstatement. The Iraqi dinar is not doing that. The Iraqi dinar is doing a reinstatement with a redenomination. That is a completely different story. Kuwait was an RI. Iraq is an RD plus an RI. Kuwait could come out at its original exchange rate of $3 plus, but Iraq's monetary reform is a completely different matter. Iraq is a redenomination that leads to a reinstatement of a new currency, for example, the new small category notes. Militiaman, the government returned the budget to Finance Ministry in order for them to adapt it to a new exchange rate. Our view is 1310 is something in the past. We believe there's going to be a different change coming. I hope you guys feel like I do, and you should be excited. Frank 26 says they're telling us they're going to float the Iraqi dinar. Right now, an internal float, 1750 to 1700 to 1550. What is it right now? 1,300. We're looking for maybe 1,190, 1,000. It's going in the right direction. They're telling you the rate. They told you they were doing an internal float. They told you that's going to do an external float, at least 1-to-1 with the American dollar. That when you're going to exchange your currency, aren't you? That's when you're going to exchange your currency, aren't you? All right, Pimpy says the United States has been tightening the screws down in Iraq because they feel money is being smuggled, laundered over into Iraq, circumventing the sanctions, which is a no-no. We'll notice if the United States starts loosening up with the dollars. And lastly, Militiaman, there is some really big information that came out today from the Arab Monetary Fund and Al Sudani talking about joining the international banking system. This is huge. These people are telling us they are going international.